This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Warsaw-based Bowen Health says a recently launched crisis response program in Whitley County has seen a 100% success rate in getting young people experiencing a mental health crisis into treatment and out of the court system. Mista Lauber with Bowen Health says families have expressed appreciation for the program.
A lot of times when parents are calling and they need assistance with their child, they're reaching out to law enforcement as kind of a last effort to help their kid or help their family as a system. And so when mental health shows up, they're able to kind of dissect the issue and figure out how to triage the situation on site.
Bowen Health plans to expand the program to Huntington County in the future. The National Park Service is currently renovating the historic Goodfellows Lodge at Indiana Dunes National Park. Our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana report the $12 million project will turn the facility into a meeting and conference space when it is completed in late 2025. An authorized Lego reseller store plans to open its doors in Northeast Indiana this spring. Bricks and Minifigs, a chain with more than 100 locations, plans to open its first Indiana location at the Apple Glen Crossing Shopping Center in Fort Wayne, according to our partners at WPTA TV. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Nippon Steel proposed giving the U.S. government a veto over any reduction in U.S. Steel's production capacity in a last-ditch bid for President Joe Biden's approval to acquire the American steelmaker, according to a document sent to the White House on Monday.
The proposal is aimed at mollifying the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, which warned last week that Nippon Steel's $14.9 billion takeover of U.S. Steel could lead to a decline in domestic steel output that would pose, quote, risk to the national security of the United States. In its new proposal, Nippon offered a 10-year guarantee that it would not reduce production capacity at U.S. Steel's mills in Pennsylvania, Indiana, Alabama, Texas, California, and Arkansas without approval by the Treasury-led review panel. U.S. Steel has major operations in Indiana, employing about 4,000 people. The president has publicly opposed the takeover for months, leaving him at odds with many of his advisors who favor the deal, that according to two senior administration officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss internal deliberations. Biden is siding with David McCall, the president of the United Steelworkers Union, who has blasted Nippon Steel's bid as, quote, bad for workers, and questioned the company's commitment to U.S. Steel's unionized operations. As White House deliberations continue, administration officials for the first time are considering an approach that would leave a final decision to the Trump administration, said the two administration officials and an industry executive who also spoke on the condition of anonymity. Biden, who faces a January 7th deadline for a final decision, could condition approval of the takeover on Nippon Steel complying with a set of additional requirements, such as the preservation of American jobs, one of the administration officials said. Hammering out those details could push the matter past Inauguration Day. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The number of Americans applying for unemployment checks dropped last week to the lowest level since March, suggesting that most U.S. workers continue to enjoy unusually high job security. Jobless claims dropped by 9,000 to 211,000 last week, according to the Labor Department. The overall numbers receiving unemployment benefits fell by 52,000 to 1.84 million, the lowest since September. When the Labor Department releases hiring numbers for December on January 10th, they're expected to show that employers added about 160,000 jobs last month. Gary Truitt, the founder of Hoosier Ag Today, has stepped down as president, though he will remain active with the agriculture media company, including serving as chairman of the board. Truitt says the change has been in the works for a few years as the company moves toward becoming employee-owned.
I felt that this was the best way to provide sustainability I've been through a number of buyouts and sellouts over the years, and oftentimes the vision and the history and the brand really suffers when those kind of things happen. So this was a way for us to continue the vision, to continue the brand, to continue the credibility that we have built with Indiana Farmers, but still going forward, having a younger management team involved in taking us in new directions.
The company is also moving its headquarters from Zionsville to West Lafayette effective this month. Check out the latest episode of the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.